Hello, it's Alan from Bolton Diggers here. We're going to be hosting a series of talks and workshops soon on the subject of local economies. It's called the alternative economy. The coronavirus has really concentrated everybody's minds, including ours, on the subject of the precarity of our systems of wealth creation. We've all been thinking about economic regeneration and what are the mechanisms for that. One of the things we're really interested in as a local food growing group, which interacts with other groups and social enterprises, is the importance of not just these large scale regeneration infrastructure projects, large chains, what have you. We're really interested in everything that's small scale, that's local, organic, community embedded, neighbourhood based. We're here on the Great Lever site on the Ainsdale Road. Within 10 minutes of here, there are several things I can think of which tick these sort of boxes, and one of them is on Leederedge Lane, Emmaus. You've got the garden and hardware shop, again locally based in Great Lever. You've got Fraser's Butchers, again a family-based firm, very popular locally, which really thrived under the pandemic. You've got things like Sensible Housing Co-op, co-housing scheme. And up there on Portland Street, you've got a new business which is just based on a wagon, the Thai food enterprise. So what we're going to do from the 30th of June to the 1st of September, every Wednesday evening at 6 p.m, we're going to host a talk and some workshops. They're going to be on a variety of different projects we're going to highlight. For example, soap making, barn making, Lancaster co-housing, Preston's PDF, worker owned, tech firm, what else is there? Yeah, Kindling Trust's organic farm, a local woodworker who's going to talk about his lifetime using sourcing and using local wood. And one of the other things we're going to feature a little bit now is the work of Tony Stevenson of Emmaus. He's been working for several years now, linking up formerly homeless people with social enterprises. And we've been down to have a chat with him, and he's going to be coming along. And this is him now.
Right, so today we're at Emmaus in Bolton, and we're with Tony, who's Chief Executive of Emmaus. And Emmaus are a charity that help the homeless in the town. So could you tell me what you do, Tony?
Of course, yeah. Emmaus is predominantly known as a homelessness charity, but we are a lot more than that. We provide home and work for up to 22 formerly homeless people.
Right.
But the work plays a huge part in what we do as well. Because taking responsibility for yourself and becoming self-reliant is obviously part of the whole recovery process for people who were homeless. And our work is based on mainly recycling. That's been the case since our founder founded us back in 1949 in France. We collect stuff that people don't want anymore, we bring it back to the site here, and then we do lots of things with it. Some of it we just straight retail, some of it goes into our workshops and we do things with it, either minor repairs, shabby chiking, or refinishing, and then some things which can't be put back into reuse will be broken up into their constituent parts, and we try and put it back into reuse that way. So we're really trying to address the whole issue of recycling totally, the whole circular economy, if you like, in what we do. And there are all sorts of different aspects here. We have a whole series of retail spaces where we retail. We have workshops. We have a full manufacturing wood workshop on site. We have a space for recycling and repairing electrical goods. We have refinishing workshops. we have spray booths, we have garden centre, we have all sorts of things that we do here. But we'll pretty much put anything that we possibly can back into reuse. Our latest project over at the far end of the site is being constructed at the moment, and that's our new recycling centre. The recycling centre downstairs will be doing some of the things that we already do, which is recycling things which can't be put into reuse. For example, a washing machine which can't be reused. It's too far gone, too broken. We'll break that down into its constituent parts and put that back into recycling that way. And then the upstairs unit is really exciting, and that is going to be based on textile recycling. And at its most basic, we'll be recycling textiles, producing fabric, fasteners, zips, those sorts of things, from deconstructing clothing and textiles. But eventually we want to get to the point where we're actually starting to refashion and produce new items of clothing from old. And then next door to that, what's currently labelled or signed as major appliances, that's going to become our new scrap store, where we'll be opening a resource centre, providing materials for arts and crafts that anybody can come and use. Schools, clubs, general public, anybody that's involved or interested in arts and crafts can come and get materials that they can use.
All sounds very good, this, Tony. So shall we take a walk around the site and look at the different components of your work?
Absolutely.
Right, so we're looking around the site at the moment. And how big is the site, out of interest, Tony?
It's a big site. It's 1.6 acres.
Right.
We bought it 17 years ago. It was a derelict site when we bought it 17 years ago, and we've completely rebuilt it ourselves. One of my team is a builder, electrician, plumber by trade, and he works with some of the companions on a daily basis on building work or maintenance work.
Brilliant.
So, yeah, it's been completely rebuilt by us. We're now just walking into or towards one of our workshops. Let me just get the lights. Right, we're now walking into our woodworking workshop. Not in use today. Our joiner is having a day's holiday today, but at this end we have a full manufacturing wood workshop with all the equipment that you need to pretty much make anything. At the moment we're very busy on garden furniture, because there's a mass shortage, a world shortage of garden furniture at the moment, so we're very busy making garden furniture, but we do all sorts of stuff. We do an awful lot of commissions for people, indoor furniture, outdoor furniture, bookcases, all sorts of things that we make, and we also refurbish in here as well. So we refurbish some of the stuff that we collect in here, and we also do refurbishment for commission as well.
Brilliant.
Lucy's Pantry is our social grocery. Works on the basis of a pantry, not a food bank. We have a membership. The membership is always full, and we have a waiting list. And as people no longer need us, we refresh new members onto it. It's currently feeding about 300 people a week.
Right.
Different to a food bank in that a food bank you're just given a parcel. You can access a food bank so many times over the course of a year. And what you're given is what you're given. If you don't like it or you can't eat it, that's tough. Our pantry works on the same basis as a small grocery. So in non-pandemic times, you would just come to the shop, pick up a basket, wander around and choose whatever produce it is that you want. At the moment, we're doing it on a served basis, rather than letting people into the shop at the moment, but people can choose whatever they want. There's always dry and tinned produce, but we also always have fresh vegetables, and we have chilled, frozen and dairy products every week as well, because we think that it's really important that just because you're struggling and you're in food poverty, you should still be able to choose what food you want and make decent, wholesome food for your family.
Of course, and you're giving people the extra nutrition with the fresh fruit and veg.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. Can we have a look inside, Tony?
I haven't got the key at the minute, but
okay.
I would do normally.
Right, so there's Lucy's pantry in all its glory, and we're going to go and move on to another bit of the project. Right, so we're going into the main shop area of Emmaus, and can you just tell us what's for sale in here then, Tony?
Yeah, and this is what we call the drill hall shop. The site used to be a former territorial army barracks. So the drill hall shop sells mainly furniture and household items. We also do have clothing in here, and around the corner we do have DVDs and entertainment, stuff like that. We also sell recycled paint, which is the paint which is collected at the local tips, and it goes back and it's reprocessed by a partner who then make it into new recycled paint. We also do stock some new items in here as well. We sell new beds and we sell new electrical items as well. But we do that on the basis that in the past we wanted to stop people going to places like Bright House, where they would be paying extortionate amounts of money in interest. We were saying to people, don't do that, set up your credit line with the credit union and then come to us and buy those items that you want. You're going to buy them much, much cheaper here than you're going to buy on the high street. So new items, beds and white goods available as well. And then we also have other areas that sell other items of furniture. The conservatory out here has our showroom for new beds, but also has various items that have gone through the workshops and have been upcycled or repainted.
And is that this stuff here, Tony? It looks like it's been...
Yeah, it is.
Let's just have a look at this. Some great...
It caught us on a day where we're having a bit of a move around, so we're not as tidy and as neatly laid out as we would be normally, but...
So we've got two tables here made from
old doors.
Made from old doors.
Yes.
This is a bit utilitarian. It's got a few little shelves for storing stuff.
Yeah.
These as well, Tony. These hangers.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything in here. Some of the stuff is produced in the workshops.
And all this stuff, I'd just like to say, it's all made to last, using top quality materials, and made with great skills and care and attention.
Yeah. When we use new wood, non-recycled wood, it all comes from sustainably sourced forest, and so even the new wood that we use is carefully selected. We have additional furniture available outside as well in what we call the garages, the old MT sheds from its former barrack days. But over on the far side, there's more furniture that's stored in sort of like warehouse space, if you like. The stuff that's out here tends to be sort of things which are for projects or for upcycling, or for people to to carry out their own little projects on. Having said that, in amongst it all, there's always some real gems as well that you can find and pull out. So it's always a good mix of furniture.
I have to admit to finding a few of your gems in there over the years. Some lovely old furniture.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear.
So you're quite thorough, really, in having a lot of the aspects of your social business connected. The environmental side of it, the dealing with inequality.
Absolutely. Our foundation back in 1949 was all about recycling. Our founder literally had to raise money by rag picking, collecting rags, washing rags and selling rags. And the first communities, in actual fact, in France were built on former bombed out sites from the war, and they literally reused building materials that they found on site to actually to rebuild houses. So yeah, no, our green credentials and our recycling credentials go right the way back to our founding in 1949.
Yeah, and it seems to me it's a very resilient sort of setup that you've got, where you might be able to weather things possibly better than other organisations. Maybe, I don't know. It just seems.
I mean, when times are hard, charities struggle like other people. But yeah, I mean, we are very fortunate. You know, the way that we operate our business, it's very ethical. It's very self-sustainable from the fact that, you know, even when things are hard and times are difficult, you know, people will look to try and find the items that they need in a different way. And you know, we're selling things here far cheaper than you're going to find anywhere else, and certainly you know, far cheaper than you'll ever find anything on the high street. So yeah, we can tend to weather the storm quite well. We're now over in the garden centre. Normally, in a non-pandemic year, the garden centre produces something between 5,000 and 7,000 shrubs a year.
So you're doing all your own cuttings and stuff.
Then it also produces between 6,000 and 7,000 plants for hanging baskets, and we recycle hanging baskets here. So we ask people to bring in their old hanging baskets. We will then reline them, refill them, replant them.
That's brilliant.
And people can come and do that again for a small fee. We're just towards the tail end of the current production of plants, if you like. In the polytunnel at the moment, we're now just preparing for potting up the next batch, which will be about another 1,000, 1,200 shrubs.
Can we have a quick look, Tony? Just to see how work's progressing.
Yeah. It's terribly exciting to look at, but you can see we're now starting to prep the pots. So these are all, they're not filled with compost. This is all sustainably produced potting substrate. It's mainly made out of wood, actually, into which we put some fertiliser.
Let's just have a quick look at this. This is really good quality, actually, from a grower's point of view. Just look at this.
Yeah.
Everybody should be using this.
Yeah. So, as I say, we're now starting to prep in here. There'll be about 1,200 pots prepared, ready for us to start potting up and growing on the next batch. It's about a 6 to 8 week process for us, from potting up to being ready for sale.
Right. As you can see, folks, there's a wide variety and diversity of plants in this little community garden centre.
Normally, you'd if you come here as we release each batch, this will be absolutely heaving with new plants. As I say, at the moment we're just getting towards the back end of this batch. Normally the greenhouse would be full, the polytunnel would be full, and the display area out here would also be absolutely full.
And they're quite reasonably priced as well, I've noticed, Tony.
Yes they are.
Is that part of the ethos so people have got access?
Absolutely, because you know, just because people can't afford it doesn't mean to say that they shouldn't be able to have their own green spaces. So yeah, they are well priced. $3.95 for a 3 litre potted shrub is brilliant value.
Very reasonable, yeah.
It's brilliant value for money.
So all you Boltonians, before we leave this bit, if you want to come and support this great organisation for buying your plants, etc., they're very reasonably priced and they've got a lot of different stocking. So do come down. Right, so tell us about this area then, please, Tony.
Well, this area is an area that we call the cottages, as well as having a little bit of our residential accommodation. We also have here our cafe, and we have some of the smaller retail spaces, our bookshop, our music shop, and collectibles area based here. We're now stood in an outdoor area to the cafe, and one of our own garden areas as well. The green space that you see here,
right.
Our gardens, we encourage and local people are quite okay to come and use this space if they want to. There's a number of people around here who don't have green space of their own. If they want to come and sit here and and spend a bit of time reading a book with a cup of coffee, or sat out there with the kids or whatever, we have no problem with that. We encourage it. So our green spaces are there for other people to use as well. This little bit here is part of the outdoor area for our cafe. Our cafe is also here in the cottages. The cafe is unusual in that obviously in order to do all the work that we do, we need to generate an income, and all the various aspects that you've seen in this video are areas that help towards that and generate some sort of income. But the cafe was never actually set up to make money. The cafe was always designed to be somewhere where local people could come, who again may be socially excluded, financially excluded, who perhaps couldn't afford to take a friend into town and go and have a coffee and a slice of cake, but they can come here. A lunch, a piece of cake, and a drink is going to set you back no more than probably about £3 here. So it's very, very good value for money. It's all fresh food. It's all simple food. But it's all fresh, all prepared and cooked on site. Even all of our cakes and scones, they're all prepared by companions and the people who live here with us, fresh on site every day. So it's available for people to use. We're very, very fortunate. Part of our philosophy 16 years ago when we first opened our doors was to embed ourselves in the local community and be part of our local community. And lots and lots of people come here on a weekly basis, and we see people coming back and back and back, time after time, to come and make use of all the facilities here, or just to come and say hello and meet friends. We firmly believe that everything that we do should be about not just the home for people who live and work here, but also about our wider community and how we can serve our wider community here.
And it's great to see that. So there's like a holistic approach where you're linking your business, the community, the charity side of it, the well-being, the interaction. So it's all.
Yeah.
And is that how Emmaus work basically?
Yes, it is.
Right.
Right again from the early days when we were founded back in '49. Our founder had this concept that those in need should be helping those in most need and helping them first. And in actual fact, when you wander around the site, you'll see that on our conservatory, on the cafe, there are a few of our founders' quotes, and one of those says, the greatest gift you can give is to make someone else a giver in their turn. And we believe that part of recovery for people, in actual fact, is by helping other people. So all those people that live here and have lived here over all of the years have been involved in helping local people here in our community that are worse off than themselves.
So that's giving people a lot of new skills, confidence,
absolutely.
getting to know the wider community that they live in.
Absolutely.
What a brilliant model.
The community is run by the companions who live here, so every aspect is run by companions. Our collections, our deliveries, the retail areas, the workshops, the garden centre, everything is run by companions. And the small team of staff who also work here, we're here as facilitators, if you like, put the wheels back on when they fall off, or to enable people to learn new skills and do new things and be part of their journey into recovery, whatever that might be. So yeah, it's not just recycling stuff, it's also recycling people as well.
Absolutely brilliant.